On this installment of A Peek into the Selection of a Sacred Strawberry, we have The Ritual by Lee Fountain. An ex-English teacher with a passion for exploring the macabre, otherworldly, and darkness, Lee is a short story writer, currently working on his first novel with the working title Wish Wolf. Each day, for the last 3 months since her passing, I've made the same lonely pilgrimage to her grave, and each day I have been struck by the unending sadness that I had presumed the passage of time would erode into something more bearable, not less so. I suppose I could feel more at ease if I could somehow shake the sensation that she could still somehow be so terribly lonely out there. That death was indeed final, and for all of its other indignities and trespasses, did not somehow allow us to realize that we were dead and so terribly alone. So I come every day to talk to her. My preparations, the journey itself, even the chat, all have become something akin to a ritual that I feel will help rid her of loneliness, or me, of the sense that by not going every day, I will be betraying her and condemning her to an eternal oblivion worse than that of her own unjust and untimely demise. Ironically, she passed on the first day of spring, though daffodils and crocuses that had already been fighting for early life before that day were sooner choked back out of existence first by a late and particularly cruel frost, and then by heavy rainfall, the kind of deluge that lasts for days and makes you question if it will ever stop. Like her family's grief, it came in torrents, and seemed that nothing could abate it. The ground around her grave becoming ever unstable, and so waterlogged that I feared the very earth might burp her out of its watery bowels, and then she would flow back out of the woods, down the ravine, and would be lost to the ravenous ocean, foaming at the mouth atop the shards and boulders beyond the gully and salt plains. What started as justifiable concern to be expected from the grieving became an obsession, a vigil to protect her within her fragile resting place, and this, in turn, became my daily trek, until he allowed my waking self to alight on the obvious solution for us both to end this loneliness and torturous misery. By this time, summer had sort of begun, and on some days I had even worked myself to something approaching a sweat by the time I reached her spot. If you've enjoyed this peek into the ritual and you'd like to read more, please pick up a copy of The Selection of a Sacred Strawberry, available on Amazon.